I love it.
You also love Ashitaka, and that's why you want to be San.
Man, it's so gross how sexually attracted I am to that character.
How old is
It's
Ashitaka
so
supposed to be?
weird.
How old is he?
I don't know. Fuck it. He's 20 in my head. Oh my god, you're so good. This is so exciting. I love this shit. I'm so happy right now.
Me too.
Okay.
You ready?
Yeah, I'm ready.
Okay.
I'm ready.
Is you meaning what you say up on FaceTime? Is you really my new bae or at one time? I'ma really be the one who gon' give it right on a pedestal. Yeah, that's your best spot.
Welcome back to the Time Skip Podcast. I'm William Haynes.
And I'm Reina Scully.
And it's a wonderful day today. Reina, you look awesome. You look incredible. Eyebrows on
Thank
fleek.
you. Oh, thank you.
Reina,
I try really hard.
You are the greatest person I know.
Will, you are one of my most favorite people on earth.
And I appreciate
I'm so
that.
happy. I'm so happy we got to work together on SourceFed. I can't believe we met on SourceFed.
Yeah.
How nuts is that?
Yeah. I remember when I saw you for the first time, like it was after I had gotten the job. And they were like, "Oh, we're gonna want you to potentially work with this girl," and I was like, "What?" Her voice is so raspy. I think the first thing I saw of you was either on Instagram or the when you guested it on Phil's on the PDS when you were in it for a second. Yeah.
Damn. Oh my God, that was like 2012.
Doesn't all of that feel like so long ago?
It feels so long ago. It's really, you know what? Until last year, it didn't feel that long ago. But for some reason, maybe it's because of like the quarantine or something, this year it feels stupendously long ago. It feels like a very long time ago.
Yeah.
I don't know what it is.
I mean,
but...
because now we're entering the world after. Now, like, you know, it's like BC AD, but I've been preparing for this for months. I've been in an anime training montage since like January 2019. 2019 was a really weird year. It was an incredibly weird year. Yeah. And I spent all of it trying to do my best to like, like train my body physically and my mind. And now I feel like I've really achieved that. I feel like I'm capable of so much now that I was not capable of, like, especially if you really want to go for the anime time skip, like, especially to when we started our journey back in 2014, February 2014.
Oh my God. Yeah. Which is exactly why this podcast title is so appropriate for both of us, I think.
Yeah.
Like, we're still the same selves, but there's so much, like, even visually different about us, I think.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, you in particular, like, I know people on Instagram always comment that you look like a literal anime time skip character. So.
I appreciate it. That's the best compliment I ever get from people. I'm like, thank you guys so much. That's what I was going for. Because that's part of our belief in shonen anime. Like, you have to come back every single arc with, like, more muscles, more techniques. Like,
better than ever
before.
time.
Like, every bad guy, I always tell people in real life, I say to people that, like, bad guys are getting stronger and stronger every day. It's just like anime. They really are. And
the bar is raised really high every single year.
If you sit around and are like, I'm gonna have the same moves I was coming with last year, you will get destroyed by Perfect Cell or the androids when they get to your house.
I welcome the androids to come to my house.
You would be an android, yeah.
You think I would?
Yeah.
Of all, like, the DBZ characters or DB characters?
You're like Android 18. I think Android 18 is the only one like you. Yeah.
That's a crazy compliment. I love 18. Also, Mike loves 18. Like, that was, like, his first anime crush. Yeah. So I'm, like, really into the fact that you said that. It makes me really happy.
Yeah, like, you could actually just put on that. Well, you did used to wear those jean jackets. I know I have a photo of you in a Canadian suit.
I did.
But, like, not when you had your hair blonde, though. When you have your hair blonde, you are straight up Android 18. And Android 18 to this day is one of the strongest characters in Dragon Ball. She has retained it, and Android 17.
Yeah, she's also cool. I like that she's like a cool bitch. I don't like that she's with Krillin. She could have done better, right?
No, Krillin is like the strongest. He's like the strongest human. He's just short. You're just
He is. You're right, and he survived everything, which is crazy, right?
Yeah.
Like, whereas everybody else died off. Yeah.
Or he got wished back. But you are totally Android 18. But I think we have a segment on the show. What are you watching? this week?
Yeah. Yeah, we're going to have segments on this podcast and try to keep it as organized as possible. And we'll see how long that lasts for.
Yeah.
But yeah, what have you been watching? That makes sense. That's a good segue considering we were talking about anime.
Yeah.
Should I go first?
Yeah, sure.
Okay, so I've been watching so much stuff, so many movies. I always have like Friends or Big Bang Theory in the background, and in Japan, our Netflix is a little bit different. It has like a little bit of a different playlist, so we have other things that are available to us.
I find it so funny
always
that
have
you like
crap.
Big Bang Theory. Like, it's like offensive to some nerds. We're like,
It's so offensive.
It is.
And it's offensive to women. It's like kind of racist.
Yeah.
I know. But, okay, so in defense of Big Bang Theory, I love that sitcom. And I have like a few reasons why. Mainly because, so I think it came out in like 2007 or maybe 2006. But that was like before Nerds won. Okay, like that was before
that's a
Nerds
good
took
point.
over the world.
I think it might be like 2009. I think it's a little later than that. But yeah,
No, it's not, because I was in college. I was like straight deep in college, and I remember for sure watching it. I remember watching the first episode, and I actually think I was a freshman, which means it was like 2006, 2007, and it was such a big deal to me that they like literally made a Friends type of sitcom completely surrounded by nerds. And they're not even like, you know how they're like sexy nerds? There's like hot nerds or whatever.
Yeah.
They're not like that at all. Like they made them as like icky as possible for the first like couple seasons.
It's not a likable representation of nerddom.
Right. And then like obviously nerddom has changed over the last 10 years. So I feel like it's, the show went in like a lot of different angles.
You make a great point that nerds hadn't won. I really didn't think about it like that. You're right. When that show came out, I liked it first 3 seasons. I actually watched it because it felt like we were being represented. But then YouTube and online stuff started happening, and we really
Exploded.
We started doing nerd stuff, and it started feeling legitimate to us. So then, and like, at the time, besides Spider-Man, the only like huge superhero movie out was Iron Man, if it came out after 2008. So
I see what you're saying.
The entire MCU hadn't become what it is and hadn't won yet. So you're right. It definitely nerddom has only become cool since like 2012, 2013. Literally, as we were doing SourceFed, that's when people came out of the closet. Like, I actually really like anime.
Came out of the closet. Yeah, I genuinely think so. I really, really do. Like, I remember I never hid the fact that I liked anime because I'm really like pretentious, and I never had a problem with it.
Yeah.
And I'm Japanese, so I feel like it was just natural. And if anybody wanted to fight me over it, I'd lovingly fight them.
Oh yeah.
But wearing it on your sleeve is a different story, right? Like really being, like you said, out is a really weird term to use.
Yeah.
But being really open about your nerddom is definitely a new age thing.
Yeah.
And like the fact that in Big Bang, like, Sheldon wears all those like nerdy t-shirts. He wears like the Flash t-shirt. That's like an iconic shirt of his. They always have like collectibles and figures on their desks and stuff. Like that kind of like really natural nerd lifestyle that wasn't that celebrated back then, being represented on television really mattered to me personally as somebody that like really enjoys television. So anyway.
Yeah.
And I know the problems in Big Bang, okay?
Yeah.
It is so fucking bad. Like there's so many bad things that happen in it, and from a writing perspective they have so many consistency issues. It's so problematic.
We don't even need to bring up the writing. But Jessica brought up that too about she was just talking, I was just FaceTiming with her, and she was saying how Avatar The Last Airbender was just put on Netflix, and everyone is talking about it. I'm being tagged in so many memes every day. Everybody's like, did you see this Avatar meme? I really appreciate it. Please keep tagging me. It warms my heart that people still know that I care. But Jessica was saying that it only just when she was in high school, that like during that last 3rd season, like it was like not yet cool to be like so like into like cartoons and anime, and she was like so happy saying that how everybody on social media is like talking about it. And
Totally.
I'm
It was considered childish, right?
Yeah,
Like, I still think,
yeah, and I'm sure that like the Last Airbender like is hitting like records on Netflix, because especially the first week they were heavily pushing it, because I was watching TV with my mom, something else, and it started playing Avatar by itself. So I like watched the entire
What?
first episode with my mom just because it played it by itself.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Damn, that's cool. Wait, have you still not seen that puppet thing episode, that theater episode?
Yeah, people messaged me about that at least 2 or 3 times this week,
Hell
asking me
yeah.
if I've seen that episode, the Ember Island Players, the only episode of Avatar I never watched intentionally because I really
Yeah.
just didn't want it to end. Yeah, I still haven't seen Ember Island Players.
Wow.
And I think it's funny.
It's so good. It's so self-aware and so good. It's probably one of my most favorite episodes.
They're
But,
satirizing themselves, right?
in like the best way ever. Like, maybe I am overplaying it a little bit, but considering how much you like Avatar, I feel like you would feel the same way I did. It blew my mind. Like, it was so good. It was so very good.
Okay, then I absolutely have to see
man.
it then. Maybe we'll do some type of video or something and I'll watch it.
I'd love that. We could dedicate a whole podcast about it.
Yeah, because or maybe a YouTube video, because as we're posting these podcasts, I think we're doing 8 weeks. I'm challenging myself to also post a video on my personal channel every week along with our podcast.
Yay! I'm proud of you.
Yeah. So I was thinking I should probably do a video about Avatar, or like why it changed my life. And I was thinking change my life isn't the right term, because I was already on that trajectory, but it like gave me like something to like relate with in a way that I had never really related with something.
That is really important.
It didn't change my life, or it did change my life. I'm just trying to figure out what the right word for it, because I'm sure I'm sure people want to hear my opinion on like the series in some way. So I'm trying to figure out what it is that I could say that would add to the conversation instead of being super basic.
I get what you mean by it not really, like, the terminology doesn't fit, right?
Yeah.
Like, it didn't change your life, but man, I can't even, you got to think of something that like matches it perfectly, because I feel like I know what you're talking about, but I don't know if there's like literally a phrase or term for it. You might have to like make one up.
Yeah.
I want to see that video really bad.
And
I feel like that's relatable to everybody.
Avatar really got into our lives because we did our review show on Quora. And we got to nerd out. I don't know if anybody has gotten to nerd out publicly about Avatar: The Last Airbender as much as we have. Like so many episodes. Just like I can't even watch back, because I'm probably being such a nerd in these videos. Just like, because it was my favorite thing. So yeah.
We were very lucky and timely. It was very timely that Quora happened to be happening while we were on SourceFed. It gave like SourceFed Nerd, I think, an appropriate badge of honor for nerddom.
Yeah. At least to us.
Yeah, all of us. Yeah. And it was interesting, right? Because like all three of us had like, and actually DJ as well, not only had like a fan perspective, but we also had like a very heavy like criticizing perspective, because no matter what it can't compare to Avatar, like like the original Avatar: The Last Airbender, right?
Yeah.
So as much as we obviously appreciated this new version of the show coming out, I think we were like appropriately critical. Like we were fans of it, but we knew what we were looking for.
Yeah.
But man, Korra was great. I do remember that. It was very heartfelt, even though it was work.
I love Korra, especially the character of Korra. You know me, like I love my animated like badass women. Like there is no. I feel like Korra kicks more ass than anybody. Then like she like what I always think like what's so like compares her and Aang is the fact that you know, like if she had Aang's problems, like I gotta go beat up Fire Lord Ozai, she would have done it immediately. She would or attempted to and got herself killed. Like she would have been like, that's what I'm ready to do. But that wasn't her battle. But like trying to get into her spiritual energy was her hardest battle, which was like the opposite for Aang. Aang was all into that.
Right.
He was like beating guys up, potentially killing them. Yeah. It was so relatable. And, you know, I was obsessed with Gandhi and the Dalai Lama because of it. So, Yeah,
That
that
was
show
because
touched
of
us.
it? You weren't obsessed with it beforehand?
I was obsessed with Gandhi before that, but I didn't learn about the Dalai Lama, I don't think, until after, 2005, after that, until Avatar The Last Airbender.
Oh,
I don't think so.
gotcha.
I don't know if
Yeah.
and that's when I got heavily into it, and that in itself kind of even got bigger than my appreciation for Avatar. I like really got into the Dalai Lama. I was like, this is it. Like he's the real Aang.
Yeah, yeah. It's really interesting what you said about Korra's tendency or like ability to be like fighter warrior ready as opposed to Aang, because I do think that is something worth completely appreciating the way you did, where Aang is an airbender, right? So they have this like very Buddhist Zen nature about them, which is so strange to see the avatar, like the beholder of all this power, be a peacekeeper. And Korra at least makes sense, right? Like she's a natural waterbender, so they not only they're not battling Mother Nature, but they're like withstanding Mother Nature because they're all from like this like cold tribe. But yeah, and also she's older, so I feel like
She is.
I feel like maybe we glossed over that while we were watching it. Like we were so keen on comparing the two of them.
Yeah,
like,
yeah.
Aang is so precious, and Korra is like awesome and great. But like, if at this age, shouldn't she be, possessing like more? I think. What's the word? Like more centeredness.
Yeah, she was so angsty. Like our last protagonist
Yeah.
on the show happened to be like, well, he felt like the chosen one in every single way. In every way, you wanted to be his friend. Like his character arc as a person didn't really change that much at all. Like he already was the person he needed to be. He just needed to learn a lot. But but
Yeah.
Korra went through like a lot of character development. She started off
Yeah.
like, like I said, ready to fight, and she had to learn how about the spirituality within. So that was tough. Plus, Robin Williams' daughter was in the last season. So yeah. I
Oh
liked
yeah,
it.
yeah. I forgot about that. That was amazing. I very much miss all of the animals from Avatar. And actually, I think you just posted something on Instagram, the duck turtle.
The duck turtle,
Oh my
yeah.
god, I miss it so bad. I miss all the hybrid creatures, like
Yeah.
Korra's like bear dog.
Yeah. The bear dog is so cute. Appa obviously
So
is the
cute.
best thing.
Appa's the king.
The-
Appa's our king.
Appa's the best thing that ever existed. Yeah. And it's just, what I love about Avatar, especially The Last Airbender, is that hand-drawnness. Like, just watching back the pilot, like, it was, since it came out in 2005, I believe, they were still, like, hand-drawing cells like they were doing, and now everything is so computerized. And,
Yeah.
as a person who's, like, truly passionate about animation, there's just nothing better to me than something that looks like that.
Yeah, I agree. I don't know if like we're slowly becoming outdated having that really intense opinion, but I agree as
Yes.
well. Like I don't know what it is. It kind of takes me away from the moment. And I also like I grew up on stuff like Cowboy Bebop and Trigun and
Yeah.
stuff like that. That's like it can never be like computer generated. It has to be hand drawn or
Yeah.
else it's not what it is.
It has to be
And
hand-drawn.
yeah, and there's a roughness and a smoothness about it that can't be replicated with computers. So, but I don't know. Everything is now computer generated, so it's kind of hard to say. Everything is CGI.
My
Everything
goal,
is like
what
digital.
what I feel like what I'm supposed to do is like, for some reason, like Hollywood has had a terrible time trying to convert anime into movies and film of live action people.
yeah.
They've had the hardest time, and I feel like it's our generation that will actually do it.
Well, there's like a couple fundamental reasons why it doesn't really work, right? So, anime in like its base form is animation that's like made by Japanese people for Japanese people.
Exactly.
So even in fantasy anime and even in like very like extravagantly not slice of life anime, there's still so many elements of it that are like so naturally Japanese, like their
Yeah.
strange level of like etiquette or their
Yeah.
kind of all their tendencies are very Japanese.
Yeah.
And you don't have to explain that in anime,
Yeah.
right? Like you don't have to explain that like if I'm bowing my head, it means that like I'm saying hello, but it also could mean that I'm apologizing deeply. Like
Yeah.
there are a lot of things that like don't really
Like-
make
My neighbor Totoro.
sense.
My neighbor Totoro is
Yeah.
so like dripped in culture.
Yeah.
It
Yeah. Yeah.
that
Yeah.
like you said, like you don't have to explain. And when you try to convert something like that just to Americans, especially America is so big. Like you want it to make sense to everybody in America. Like
Exactly.
yeah, and I think that's the thing. I like some things can't like there may not be able to be a Dragon Ball Z live action movie, but like there's we still want to be influenced by these incredibly hand drawn movies. Like Hayao
Yeah.
Miyazaki would never he would be rolling in his grave if I made a Nausicaa movie. If like it's 50 years in the future, if I like became
Yeah.
a billionaire and bought the rights to his movies and I made a Nausicaa movie. I don't think he
Yeah.
would want that, you know?
Well, there's another issue there, right? Like Hayao Miyazaki hates America.
I mean,
So that's like really problematic in and of itself. Like he likes Europe. It's weird. He like idolizes
he's
Europe,
a
but
Anglophile. Like anything British, French, like
yes,
he will heavily influence.
German.
Like Hal is written by a European woman. It's based off a
Yeah.
book. It's one of his few things that are actually based off a book. But yeah, like I love like oh dude, I love ruining people's like Alana, Steve's girlfriend. She also loves Hayao
Yeah.
Miyazaki movies too. And I was over at Steve's house like 2 months ago before the quarantine, and
Oh
we were
no.
watching Lord of the Rings, and I was sitting there. I
Mm.
was like, I'm gonna wait for us to get through this movie so I can tell her all of the Hayao Miyazaki quotes about the Lord of the Rings, like you, because
Oh no.
you.
Don't ruin other
I
people's
waited till we finished
lives.
watching the movie because Lord of the Rings is so good. I think we were
It's so
watching like
good.
the third one, whichever one has the big old tower in it, and it's such a good movie. Like the filmmakers who made it, Peter Jackson, like everything every frame in the movie they had drawn out beforehand. They knew exactly what they were
Yeah.
making going into this movie.
I bought the book in high school.
Yeah,
I bought like the illustrations of Lord of the Rings and their like areas
you've
in
probably
high
read it,
school.
yeah.
I was obsessed. Yeah.
But Hayao Miyazaki's quotes on in that interview he did about Lord of the Rings is the same interview he did about the Iraq War. I actually need to find it so I can read it.
Oh my God. Yeah, Miyazaki is very opinionated and he's not as friendly as everybody likes to
Oh
think.
my
He's
god.
not as friendly as his movies depict him to be.
Oh my! I was
You would
literally.
never imagine.
Yeah, I was literally just talking to Owen about it. Like he kind of reminds me of you. Like he creates like the sweetest things. His movies are so cute, but he
And heartfelt.
and heartfelt. But I mean, you're not like this, but he like everything that he has shown us about him as a person has just been like a total curmudgeon. Like he like he doesn't seem like he enjoys anything. Like every
Right,
single
right.
piece of footage about him is him in a bad mood. And it's so funny, and him complaining, oh yeah, I forgot I was looking for the Lord of the Rings
Yeah.
interview.
He's like heartbroken by humanity.
Mm-hmm.
That's like the phrase that's kind of commonly used. He's heartbroken by this world and betrayed by humanity. He like really thinks that we have degraded to the worst degree possible.
I mean,
but I don't know. I kind of agree with him. I'm gonna be honest with you. I agree.
he has, I mean, I'm gonna say he has some good points. Here's what he said about Lord of the Rings.
Yeah.
If someone
Oh
is
my
the
God.
enemy, it's okay to kill endless numbers of them. Lord of the Rings is like that. If it's the enemy, there's killing without separation between civilians and soldiers. That falls within collateral damage. How many people are being killed in attacks in Afghanistan? The Lord of the Rings is a movie that has no problem doing that, not separating civilians from enemies, apparently. If you read the original work, you'll understand, but in reality, the ones who are being killed are Asians and Africans. Those who don't know that, yet say they love fantasy, are idiots.
Damn. Damn.
Makes the cutest movies.
Yeah.
Made Totoro.
I know. Made Chihiro.
Made Chihiro.
Made Spirited Away.
Made
Yeah.
Spirited Away.
Made Ponyo.
Made Ponyo.
Like, are you kidding?
Little baby Ponyo.
Yeah. But no, I mean, it's not like he's inconsistent, right? Like I get what he's saying because I think, I don't know if this is like true or not, but I really do think he must be like a deep Shinto Buddhist or must believe in something of that
I'm not sure what his religion
degree
is.
of that. Yeah. But there is this really powerful like folklore sense of there's no real like evil in this world. Nurture
Oh,
has
yeah.
kind of turned things evil. So you have to like you have to turn things on its side and examine it properly to really determine if something is bad or not. Like, I think you even mentioned this while we were doing Animal Club Super, but nothing is truly evil in any of the Ghibli movies. Like in Nausicaa, it's because of the environment and because people need to survive.
Yeah.
In Mononoke, it's again because of the environment and because humans have like unlocked this new way to harvest this element that's inside of Earth, iron, and therefore they have to like they have to take from the Earth to give to humans, and that like that non-yin yang relationship gets disrupted, that kind of stuff, right? Like nobody's evil. Even in, actually, Spirited Away is probably the best example. There's literally not an evil character except, I guess you could argue that Yubaba. Zeniba's the one that's far away. Yubaba's the owner of the bathhouse. Yubaba is like
Yubaba's just running a business. Yubaba is running a business.
She is just running a business. Yeah.
She's just running a business.
But they're kind of like possessed by greed, right? Like there is something that's possessing them. There's an excuse for their behavior, which is that they are something is like cursing them maybe, or like taking over their otherwise sensible ability. Otherwise they're like their normal senses.
Yeah.
But
I recently posted on Instagram about how in terms what we were talking about no bad guys in Miyazaki. I recently posted what's the last time you cried to anime? Last time I cried to anime that I can remember was when we did Anime Club Super and we watched Princess Mononoke. And Lady Eboshi, who is the antagonist in that movie, I cried in the scene where her and San, Princess Mononoke, are fighting. It made me cry because, no spoilers, but there's like death. They both have experienced death, and it just really touched me in a way that neither side was right. And so that's how it related to the Lord of the Rings, because what Hayo is saying is and what I was telling Steve and Alana, and we were all laughing, is that in this movie we just kill crocs. We just kill the whatever they are in Lord of the Rings, the orcs. We just kill the orcs. Yeah. We just kill any orc. Like any orc, like is this a mother orc? Is this a kid orc?
They're evil,
And watching This Is Us, that's like we don't like in movies, but Americans love in our movies a bad guy being a bad guy without any knowledge. They have no. We assume that they have no thought. We assume that they're savages. Like there's not a single orc who can relate to the rest of society.
That would be a cute story if there was like an offshoot of like a little side story of an orc that wanted to be good and he just like can't.
Yeah, and what is it that they want in the Lord of the Rings in that movie? They're like the orcs believe. Steve was telling me the orcs say that they want to encapsulate that planet. The orcs want to own the planet and have the humanity go less. So just because they're ugly from our perspective, who's to say that they don't find us ugly? So Americans love movies where there's a big war at the end, there's a big battle, so that's what Hayo was talking about.
I agree. But like, I mean, even in Miyazaki movies, there are like big battles towards the end or something like
Princess
that.
Mononoke.
There's always a battle.
There's
a battle of some sort. It's just a matter of positioning who is evil and why.
Yeah.
Like, I guess, Western movies don't really want to confront or examine that because then they'll realize that they're possibly killing for no reason.
Yeah.
But it's not like Japan is innocent, okay? Like Japan is far from fucking innocent. So I don't know. Like I feel like I love Miyazaki and I believe in his movies and stuff, but he is definitely a Japanophile. And
he's a nationalist.
And it's a little bit right, and it's weird to be like obsessed with your own beliefs and your own country. Like it's very like myopic. So as much as I appreciate him as like a filmmaker and as this like innovator of sorts, I don't really agree. As like somebody that is Japanese but was raised in the U.S., like I definitely see his issues, and I feel like a lot of Japanese people in general have that problem. I actually learned this recently. Not learned this, but like I kind of am coming to terms with it. But Japan's an island country, and supposedly there's this like really huge island country philosophy where you're really capable of putting yourself in a bubble and literally ignoring the rest of the world. So it's hard to almost not be a Japanese Japanophile. Like, it's impossible to not truly believe in your nation.
Yeah.
And supposedly a lot of other island countries have this mentality and philosophy as well, whether they realize it or not. But I'm experiencing it a little as like a foreigner, so to speak, as somebody that like grew up elsewhere or like have seen other countries.
Yeah, you've gotten to live in both. You've gotten to live extensively in both.
Yeah.
So
I'm not saying America's amazing. Like, we all got issues, but like Japan is not getting off scot-free. Like, that's not right.
Oh my God, I think we kind of agree. We both we even it out because we both agree. But like, I'm sorry, man, I gotta give Hayao Miyazaki his credit. Like, also, this is the man who won the first Academy Award, or was it? I think he won the first Academy Award for an animated movie, and he didn't go because of the Afghanistan war in America.
Yeah,
like,
and he genuinely doesn't believe in
it.
it.
This man is an artist. But like I'm saying, like, but the type of animated movies, he's an artist. He's an artist.
Right.
But
that's a great way to put it.
Yeah. But the type of animated movies that I'm gonna make when I'm older, he would probably hate them.
But that's okay. You don't need to appease him.
Oh yeah, I'm so influenced by him. He's my favorite artist of all time. But like, I don't think he would like, cause I'm gonna be so influenced by him. But I would do it through my voice, and I've seen a totally different side of the earth than he has. And but like I said, like, my dream would be to take Naushka and make it a live action movie with like a female, and she's like this god character, like. Naushka is on another level. She's so smart, but like, he would never want to see an American-made live-action movie.
She's a real warrior princess. She's literally the warrior princess. Yeah,
she has a lot of honor.
Yeah, that's what's cool about her, right? Like, she's not just like a princess or a queen that just sits back and lets other people fight her fight. Like, she's out there. And she's also a scientist. That's weird.
She's also a botanist. Intense. You're right.
That's like freaking weird.
She's a warrior princess botanist. Mic drop.
Pretty incredible. That's really difficult to ever like recreate or reimagine ever
She
again.
literally flies around on Maeve, like.
Yeah. Oh, man.
And Naushka is my favorite character of all time. Definitely my favorite female character, I'd say. She's the greatest. Yeah, she's the greatest.
I love... Nausicaa's too perfect for me. I like San from Mononoke because she got issues, and that's my favorite. I love that she's so angry. She has so many problems, and she's so angry, and she like... believes that she's a wolf. Well, she doesn't believe it, but she identifies with being a wolf more than being a human. And she's like, humans are terrible.
San is a savage. She's you, but
I love it.
You also love Ashitaka, and that's why you want to be San.
Man, it's so gross how sexually attracted I am to that character.
How old is Ashitaka supposed to be? How old is he?
I don't know. Fuck it. He's 20 in my head, which is still like almost criminal.
He is like Naushka, as in like he always is like, you know what? I gotta make the noble decision. He's like such a noble character.
You're right. You're totally right. He is. Very much like Nausicaa. Now that I think about it, you're right.
He's the noblest of the noble. Like
he's too good.
Yeah, he's too good for this world. But yeah, San.
Except
Princess Mononoke is crazy.
Yeah. Except Ashitaka. Believe it or not. Well, I think we literally talked about it in Anime Club Super. But in the English dub, they name her to be his younger sister when he leaves his original village. You know, the one that gives him the stabby pick.
Yeah.
That he gives to San later. That's actually his fiance.
Yeah. Like we did talk about that.
Yeah. So his fiance.
Like first 5 minutes of the movie.
This, like, yeah. So his like lover gives him this like pick and goes, "Please don't forget me." He forgets her, gives the pick to fucking San, and San uses it to save herself, which is like beautiful. But like, I didn't like that. Fix that shit. Fix it. I didn't like that.
Oh man, I totally forgot about that. Yeah, like because it's not completely clear that that's his fiance, but
I think they literally call her. Okay, so I think in Japanese, they all call him Oni-sama. Maybe they don't, but it's like, it basically means like big brother, but in like a village community, they're not like related. They just call each other that. Like, just like in Japan, everybody is uncle or aunt. Like, everyone you don't know, you say uncle or aunt to them to like reference them. So I think it plays off of that a little bit. But in the English dub, they definitely positioned her to be his little sister. That's not his little sister.
That's not what happened.
That's not what happened. That's not it.
You know what?
Yeah.
I think I did watch it in English. That's one of the few ones that I did see in English for the first time in film school.
You know what's crazy about the English dub?
What?
I only saw it once for this specific reason. Gillian Anderson, as in Dana Scully, is the voice of Moro, the mother wolf.
Wow, yeah.
That's the only reason why I watched it. I love Gillian Anderson, obviously.
Yeah, Moro's Japanese voice is so good. It's like...
Because Moro's a male.
Yeah.
Like, I know Moro's like mother wolf, but it's like a guy.
Sounds like a dude.
And it's better. I like it so much better that way.
Yeah.
I want this like angry dad wolf. You know?
That you gotta suck her blood out and spit it out because she got stabbed.
I'll save her. I'll save her. I'll do that.
I'll save her ass right
Oh my
now.
God, we went on such an intense tangent. This really is turning into an anime podcast.
I know, we were like, this is not going to be about anime, but it totally was.
I know. For like weeks and weeks while Will and I were, trying to come up with like how to theme this podcast, what can we talk about and stuff, Will could not stop saying like, oh, we should talk about anime. I want to talk about anime. I'm like, I hate anime now. I don't want to talk about anime. And yet here we are.
And we recorded another episode and we didn't talk about anime at all.
I know, the test episode. It's your fault for mentioning Avatar. It's like 100% your fault.
I know.
Actually, do you mind if we go back a little bit and talk about what we're watching?
Oh, I gotta show you that later. Yeah,
What happened?
I pulled up the wrong clip, but that was something else I wanted to show you. But yeah, what were you saying?
God,
Yeah,
that's
let's
so
go
funny.
back. Yeah.
Okay, I want to talk about something else that I'm watching. I'm watching Snowpiercer, and it's really fun. Like, it's got issues, but it's really good.
What is Snowpiercer?
Yeah. Okay, so there's a original movie that was directed by the same director as Parasite, the Korean movie that won this year.
Oh, that one.
Have you seen Parasite?
Yeah, I did see. Steve made me watch it.
Oh, okay. Did you like it?
Oh, yeah, it was amazing.
Oh, yeah, okay, awesome.
Yeah.
It was so unpredictable. I watched it on the plane, so, like, my senses were super heightened, and I was like, oh, this movie's so good.
Me too. Dude, when I watched it at Steve's, of course, it was Steve, Bree, Alana, like, Whitney, her husband, Jesse. And when we went into it, Steve told me it was like a scary movie. So I was jumping the whole time, and everybody's all laughing at me because I'm scared of scary movies. So I was, like, all jumping, and everybody was laughing, but it turned out, like... I was like, where?
It's not really.
I was like, where the damn parent? Like, I thought it was like,
Oh, you thought it was like Parasite the anime?
Yeah. I totally.
Like with me.
Especially for the first time I heard of it, I thought it was like another remake of. I thought he was talking about, which they totally have made, and he totally made me to see the live action Migi. It was. Uncanny Valley, crazy, stuck in my mind forever. But you made me watch the original. But yeah, you were saying. Yeah, you saw Parasite.
Yeah. Okay, so so Snowpiercer, the original movie was directed by the same director as Parasite, but then they made a Netflix TV show out of it, and what it is Snowpiercer is about the world freezing over, and so there's only about like 3,000 known people that survived, and they survived by being on this super, super industrial, future high-tech train that goes around the entire world, and it can't stop because it generates its own energy that way. I think there's like a lot of other, engineering physics that goes into it.
What language is
this?
But
it's in English. It's Jennifer Connelly's like the main character. But okay, so it's really clever and interesting, right? Like, I love post-apocalyptic, like, genres and worlds like that, but it's also a perpetual winter murder mystery, and I love winter murder mysteries. It's like my favorite. Septic and I talked about this a lot, but like, it's our favorite category.
Winter
murder
mysteries?
Yeah, where like someone gets murdered in the wintertime and you spend the whole time like trying to figure out who it was.
Who did it?
And it's really interesting, right? Because I don't want to give too much away, but there are a lot of class issues on the train, and it's a giant train. It's like 1,001 cars long, and it travels around the whole world perpetually.
It sounds remarkable.
It's really cool.
Does it stop?
And I don't think so. So I asked that question initially in my head when I was watching it, but I think she literally says, like, all the characters literally say, like, it doesn't stop. It just goes on forever. And it's on, like, it's been running for more than 6 years after the world froze over.
Oh, my goodness.
But it's cool. And they go through, like, geological areas, too. Like, they're like, oh, we're heading to Canada now. Like, you know, and in the intro, they show like a little bit of a map of like the railroads throughout the world. And it makes sense because since the world froze over, everything is like a huge tundra. Like there's no gaps anymore. It's like Pangea 2.
Oh my God, it really is.
It's cool. I think you'll enjoy it. It's got some like grotesqueness to it. It's definitely like in the PG-13 rated R category.
Sounds
but
scary.
It's very fun. The murder mystery aspect of it is really cool because they almost are like teaching you how to be a homicide detective, and a bunch of things are limited because, you know, in the real world you have forensics at your disposal and stuff like that, and you have like a whole lab available to you, but they have to like go really nitty-gritty with how they're solving it, kind of like old school, almost like post Sherlock Holmes era type of deduction theory. So it's really cool. I very much enjoy it.
Wow.
You'll like it.
Okay. All right.
Yeah.
I do like explorative
try.
imagination things. That sounds like an entire world, and that opened my brain.
It is very, very creative. I thought the universe building, the world building was really good. Obviously, it has issues, and there are a lot of things I like question from like a science angle, but it's still really good.
You know, so since we did this, we did our last video and we were talking about fitness in the last one, and
oh my God, we're jumping into that. Okay.
So I refound a video of you, the fitness video that you did with Septic, and
oh, I love that video. Shape Up.
In that video, in the Shape Up video, you said that you don't know how to swim.
Oh, yeah.
How did I not know this about you? Did you know that I can't swim either?
You can't?
No.
Well, okay, so here's the thing. I can swim, okay? I can get from point A to point B. I can get there, right? But I don't know how to legitimately swim.
Wow.
Like, I don't know how to freestyle. I don't know how to do the strokes. Like, I have no idea where my limbs are in relation to my body,
like,
in relation to like the center of my body when I'm in water.
This
I have no idea.
might be a video that we have to make because, like, yeah, I'm pretty sure to save my life I could swim. Like,
you could probably, first of all, like, our body density makes us float. It's like impossible, right? So you can absolutely, just by like swishing your feet together, get from point A to point B.
Don't
like,
freak
you can
out.
Do it.
Don't freak out, and you'll probably figure it out. But yeah,
like, I can do it for sure. But I don't know what I'm doing. I'm pretty sure I'm like doggy styling the whole time, right? Like doggy paddling.
Oh,
doggy styled? Is that not? Did you say that? No, I didn't mean to. That just came out. Yeah, you know, I like to fuck in a pool. No,
I'm trying to find that other clip
paddle.
I sent you earlier. Mike.
Oh, I love that clip.
Mike.
That's literally me. That's me. It's me every morning. It's me whenever the cats do something that I don't want to deal with, like pooping in our bed.
It sounds like
God.
you, though. It sounds like
it does. Yeah, it does. You know, it sounds like LA SourceFed Reina, because my voice is different now. My voice heals.
Your voice is 100% different now. You're hitting high-pitched notes that I've never heard you hit before. It's not even raspy.
Yeah.
The air in Japan is so good. You sound like a different person. I'm kind of mad about it.
I'm not gonna lie. Yeah, I know. I never like went to the doctors or anything, but I was talking to a bunch of my family members, and this like Taiwanese witch doctor that I'm friends with, and they told me that my body was probably rejecting the smog in LA, like whether I like it or not. I did bruise my vocal cords in 2011 when I was working in a kitchen, and that like really did happen.
Like
my voice was like, yeah, my voice was never the same after that. And there actually are videos of me pre-2011, and you can literally hear that I sound even different than now. This is like my recovered voice. Yeah, this is my recovered voice.
Yeah,
but
you used to sing and stuff.
But yeah, I used to sing a lot. I used to sing jazz. Not very well, but I still sing. But now, or I used to sing. Now I don't at all because it like betrays my heart. Actually, dude, I don't listen to music at all.
Oh, I know.
Anymore.
I know.
You know that, right? Yeah, okay, you do know that.
I think even when you were in LA, you did it.
Yeah. Oh, I listen to more. Yeah.
Well,
no,
you'll
listen
listen
to
some heavy metal, like some like System of a Down.
I only like music. Yeah. I only love music that I already have loved in the past. Except, I really love Sunflower with Post Malone.
I know, I love that song too. I found out about that late after everybody, like probably like 9 months ago. Oh, when you get left in the dust. Even though I saw the movie.
Yeah.
You're sunflower. It's a hit.
I love that song, man.
I noticed that you didn't listen to music when we filmed that sake video in that Airbnb that had that Japanese place in the middle of it.
Right.
After we were leaving, I had put on Maria Takeuchi for you, and you were like, You're like, it's okay. I was like, what, Reina? Like,
no, I'm shitty, man. I'm shitty. I'm probably like a secret serial killer or something. That's definitely one of the absolute weirdest things about me. I like hate music. It's so weird. And it sucks.
I actually kind of used to be like you too. Like growing up, I didn't listen to a lot of music at all. But like, you know, after like 2015, started having fun, and I was like, whoa, music sounds good. And now I listen to I like you said though, I really like stuff that I used to listen to when I was young, like stuff that I used to my grandmother used to play like on the radio driving in the car with her, like music from the 70s, like Isley Brothers, like old R&B, like hits me in like in such a way that nothing new ever could. But like, so like there's artists like Maria Takeuchi, like there was this whole like revolution in Japan where it was like the 80s. They were making music like we were making in America in the 70s. So they have all these songs. She has all these songs like Broken Heart, Plastic Love that are in English. I think there's Japanese versions for some of the songs too. But they sound, they're so funky. They're so groovy. They sound like the Isley Brothers. They sound like American groove. But they're like Japanese girls singing about love and stuff. And it's so good. It like takes anime like outro music to another level. Like I don't know. I especially don't like Japanese music. So like as a true
which is
weeb,
weird because
you're gonna have to stop with that.
I know. I'm sorry. It's just, you know, I have some artists that I'm like obsessed with, but it's probably because it was the opening to an Inuyasha episode.
Oh my God.
You know what I'm saying? Like
the ending though, like, Inuyasha's ending theme was my introduction to anime endings. Dun 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 dun. That was my. I was like what 9 years old watching Adult Swim every week.
Oh man!
But like that is something that I believe in outro music. Like it's got to set the tone. It's like gotta you know.
Absolutely. Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, I only like Japanese music that had to do with anime. So this is like predating your One Piece obsession, but I used to be obsessed with One Piece when I was in like elementary, middle school. And
I didn't know.
They would, so all long-standing anime movies used to, and some still do, have an annual movie that comes out in the summer. They call it Summer Roadshow. And One Piece was one of them. And in total, they have like 17, 18 or so, but there's what accompanies them is a short video, kind of like in Pixar. You know how Pixar always has like a short movie, then like you see the actual movie?
Yeah.
One Piece always did that. And there was this one called, Carnival something. Carnival... something, okay? And it had, I think it was Django, but I actually don't remember who it was. But they have this like whole like para dance thing that happens, and this band called Folder 5 did their song, and they also did the intro for a couple seasons. I still love that song. Like, I hear it and I get chills, and it's like the most exciting thing in the world. But
I've actually never seen any of the One Piece movies.
That's so weird. They're really good.
Not only,
like, they're not like phenomenal, but they're really good.
I've never seen any One Piece movies. I've never seen any of the Naruto movies. I've never seen any of the Dragon Ball movies. Never watched any of them.
I don't think I've ever seen any Dragon Ball movies, but that's because like I wasn't as into Dragon Ball as everybody else was.
Yeah, I didn't know that you were super into One Piece at the time. Yeah.
Oh my, I was like disgustingly into One Piece. Actually, I found this old sketchbook that I used to have, and I used to draw all the characters when I was like
I would
in
love
middle
to see
school.
that. You're gonna have to send that to me.
Yeah, it's really cute. So it's really bad.
You were watching it when it actually came out, like in 2000. Like.
Yep.
I was
actually.
I didn't get into One Piece until 2014.
Oh yeah, I remember.
When I watched it
when you started getting into it.
With Meg for I think my first episode of Anime Club or second episode.
Oh, when you were holding the bear.
Yeah. I was so scared. Yeah, they were like, gave me a Crunchyroll login. They were like, I got Meg Turney's phone number and I had to text her to get the password. I was like, wow.
Oh my God,
my life
that
is
so
different than it was a month ago. And we watched One Piece and. I didn't know. I was like, all we did was to watch the first 10 episodes, which, like you were saying, we can't do now. You got to be way more in depth these days. I just watched the first 10 episodes, and now to this day, 6 years later, it's my favorite anime. Like, I love Naruto. I love Naruto, but Luffy is my guy.
Yeah.
Like, every episode of One Piece is fun.
Yeah, it's so. Oh yeah, that's the other thing, right? Like One Piece is like a purposeful comedy. Like it's a comedy.
It is a comedy, and every episode is.
It's
funny.
action, but yeah. They did that on purpose. Like they made the characters outlandish and all that stuff.
I forget the name of the creator. I just don't want to pronounce it wrong. Oda.
Oda Eiichiro.
Yeah, he is brilliant because. One Piece is like every arc, like how they do the show is like a totally different world. His world building is huge. Like the world in Naruto is like it's like Edo Japan-esque, but that's it. Like the world can't the world is no bigger than ninjas and those things. But One Piece and villages, which we love and is absolutely amazing. But One Piece, every single place they go, it's like the map totally doesn't make sense. Like how are you going to be on the Grand Line and the Grand Line gets bigger and bigger? How you go from islands to countries and you're like still in the same? Like it's like a dimension.
No, it's cool. I love that. I love that about One Piece too because it made it limitless. Like literally anything could happen. You can get to an island.
And sometimes the islands turn into countries. Like,
islands can turn into turtles.
Yeah. Islands can turn into elephants. So, like One Piece, I have to say, like, and what One Piece does to me, I was just talking it to my only other friend that watches One Piece, and like One Piece gets me, my friend Luis, who's my camera guy. We like One Piece gets me. Like yiped. I'm like I'm non-violent, but the way Luffy beats ass, I'm like I gotta beat up dudes too.
I want to get into a fight so bad.
Man, if you were saying what you were saying after we recorded that podcast the other day, I was like, when we recorded the other one, and I was telling you like, man, what I brought up was like how. I posted something on Instagram a couple weeks ago, and I said that you're the greatest person that I've ever known or something. And Jessica was like...
This conversation,
And Jessica was like, what are you talking about? And no, she was like, I'll fight.
No, she said she'll fight
She was
me.
like, I'll fight Reina. And I was like, look, I'll put Jessica up against most people. Like, Jessica is a fighter, too. Jessica's been in many fights.
She is.
She'll beat a girl up. But the one person I wouldn't put her up against is you. Because the thing is, like, if it was a fight, just a fight, it would be a really close fight. But I think you would accidentally kill somebody, Reina.
Yeah, I always fear that as well. Actually, that's so funny that you brought it up because the other day, I was walking home alone in the dark, and it's Japan, and I'm in a village. It's literally the safest place on earth. But my mom goes, oh, there are no streetlights where you're walking, so be careful. If somebody approaches you, beat him up. But don't beat him up so bad that you kill him, okay? Don't kill anybody.
This is what I'm saying.
As though, like,
I'm
as
worried.
though I naturally all the time kill people by accident. Like,
but you just give the energy that, like, if you, like, you just wouldn't let it stop at the person being on the ground. I feel like you would.
No.
Like,
it's called double tap, okay? You got to make sure they're down.
and then, like, in the courtroom, I feel like you would be able to present yourself as mentally sane, and you would be like, I did it.
Yeah.
I had the right to do it.
I'll represent myself.
Yeah.
I'll represent myself, okay? I don't need a lawyer. I'm good. I'm fine.
A lawyer
it's
would just
all
mess
self-defense.
you up. A lawyer would just hold you
they'll
back.
just fuck up. Yeah, I know. Like, what if I'm, trying to give a certain narrative and they're like, well, didn't you say? No, you're going to fuck me up. I will represent myself.
You're such a serial
I'll be
killer.
fine.
You're going to remember every single thing that you said. And
I probably
so, yeah, if you were a Smash Bros. Character, I'd pick you every time.
Hell yeah. But yeah, I don't know what it is. I think it's because like maybe I'm frustrated and tired from being like indoors all the time. I like hate so many people and hate so many things. I just like want to get into a fight so bad. I just want to like bare knuckle box everyone I come across.
And I feel like
every...
you've gotten more aggressive over the years.
I don't know what happened. I thought I'd mellow out coming here. But no, I do think it has a little bit to do with like the corona shit, right? Like everyone's stupidity is like really, really upsetting me.
And you just cannot take that. Both Reinas
I can't take it.
take
I can't handle it.
You are one of the people that like you want everybody to always be doing the thing that it is that they're supposed to be doing. And
oh my God, do your best. Like, why? Why not do your best at all times? Like, I don't fucking understand.
Yeah.
You're tired? Go to sleep. I don't fucking understand.
Yeah,
I don't get it.
You're insane. Your expectations of the world. If only we could
Oh
all
my
be
God.
there.
I just want to get into a fight so bad. I don't know why I don't join, like, Muay Thai or MMA
Martial
or some
arts.
kind of fighting.
I would love
I don't
to
know why I
see
don't
you
do that.
fight. I would love to see you fight, dude.
I was in karate for like 7 years when I was a kid.
Me
My dad
too.
made me do it.
I didn't know
really?
you were too. Yeah, I was in karate for for I think 2002 to 2008. So like 6 years.
Wow, you did it when you were like a teenager.
Yeah, I was up in like up until my freshman year of high school, and then I was like, all right, this is all. I can't keep going to the karate school. I don't know why. In hindsight now, I could have made that work. I could have started getting ripped. And the kids that did. I knew several kids that, were going into their high belts, and they were in high school. I should have taken it more seriously, but I wasn't on that level until like 2016.
Yeah, you got to be like interested in it, right? Like I was a kid, so I got like indoctrinated into being obsessed with it. And also I was a fighter, so I like wanted it so bad. Like I wanted to be up against the guy so bad. I actually remember one time, and this was like, I was like a kid. I was like maybe 7, maybe 8. It was when my dad still lived in the country, in the US. But he took me to my karate lesson, and at the end, depending on like the week, you can, face another student, right? And I was always the smallest one. It was so awful. And they put me up against this like basically adult man.
Oh my goodness.
But I was like I like wanted it so bad. I did the awful thing. I got him in the shin, right? Because I'm short.
Yeah.
I got him in the shin, and then I palmed him in the face.
Yes.
And he bled. And I was like, oh no! I was like, oh shit, like I gotta stop. That was,
It is so
that
funny
happened.
because
And my dad,
you're the sweetest
my dad
person in the
pulled me
world.
away.
That's the only reason you can get away with this behavior.
but that was a controlled environment. They were literally like, okay, gong, like go get each other. And I was like, well, I'm not gonna let this guy like step on me.
See, that's the difference between me. So I also took fighting classes, and I hated it. I loved doing karate. I loved doing the techniques. I knew all the techniques. That's just like learning your jutsus. Like, you got to know your techniques. Yeah, that's your moves.
Your jutsu.
But the fighting class, which we only did once a year, I was so nervous every single time. I hated it. And I remember they put me up against.
That was what I lived for that shit.
I was not there for that. And they put me up against this kid who was the same as me. We were both skinny dudes. I wish I remembered his last name because we all referred to each other as Mr. something. But and I was like, so they put everybody up against someone the same as them, not like your school. But he and I was like, if there was a chance for me to beat up anybody, I was like, this is the kid that I'm going to be able to beat up. We got out there and he mollywopped me. He destroyed me. Like, because I just didn't want to fight, even though I was supposed to fight. I was like, I can't do it. I don't know if I, like, put... And like
cause you're ang.
I am.
Cause you're ang.
I remember after that, like once I was in high school and I, had my cool friends, we all got boxing gloves and like, we were out in the middle of the street. I only did this with them once, and this is in the hood, like by the bar station. Like we were.
That sounds bad.
And me and my friend put on boxing gloves, and he whooped my ass. Like for some reason I have the inability to fight back, but that was back then. Now I have years of pent up aggression and anger. Like I'm like waiting for it.
You're an adult now.
I'm an adult now.
You're an angry adult.
And I hate to admit it. Like as much as I like you my camera went out.
Oh, wait, hold on. My camera's about to go out too. Can you give me a second? This is good.
Okay.
I need to get a new battery, okay? Okay, hold on a second. We want to talk about, we haven't even done our ab check yet. Like, fuck. All right, hold on, let me make sure. I'm gonna keep my microphone going. I think that'll make it easier. I don't know. Holy shit, my camera is so hot. All right.
Is you meaning what you say up on FaceTime? Is you really my new bae or at one time? I'ma really be the one who gon' give it right on a pedestal. Yeah, that's your best spot.